Hello, everyone, and welcome to A Super Geek. I am Jeremy Harper, and I'm here with my co-hosts, Mariam and Kristin, and our guest, Anthony Nomo. Tonight, we'll be playing their wonderful game, For Our Family. So before we jump in, who are we? A Super Geek is a one-shot actual play live stream that highlights the voices of marginalized folks in the tabletop community. We feature gender marginalized GMs and a diverse rotating cast, and we are proud members of the Misdirected Mark Network. Again, joining us tonight is Anthony. Anthony is the designer of For Our Queen, or not For Our Queen, For Our Family, a descendant from the Queen's game, as well as the author of the Descendants of the Queen Guide to Hacking For Our Queen, creating a Descendant from the Queen game. They'll tell you a little bit more about themselves in a minute here, but before we jump in, let's go around and introduce ourselves. So who are you and where can we find you? I'll start. I am Jeremy. You can find me online at HarkMorper on Twitter. I'm a game designer, streamer on here, and you can find me every other Thursday on this, and occasionally guest starring or guest on Utopia or Well-Seasoned Stories, or really anywhere else I can manage to get myself. I'm going to pass it off to Mariam.
Hi, everyone. I am Mariam. I go by they, them pronouns, and you can find me on Twitter at media_junkie. I write for TRPGs. I stream, such as this show, as well as Kahania and Utopia, and I kind of lurk around on Utopia, being one of three raccoons in a trench coat that is known as the caretakers of Utopia. So I GM Kahania, and I occasionally podcast as well, such as this show, which we take the audio and make it into a podcast. However, that is me. I will now pass it on to our wonderful co-host, Kristin.
I'm Kristin, she, her pronouns. You can find me on Twitter at KristinIsNoJedi. I'm so glad to be back. We had a small break and I missed my co-hosts, so I'm thrilled to be here, thrilled to be here with Anthony and playing this game. I'm a game designer. I write for tabletop role-playing games. I also do an interview podcast that I'll maybe talk about at the end. And like mentioned before, I do this live stream with some of my favorite people, Mariam and Jeremy. And that's it for me. So Anthony, I'll pass it over to you.
Well, first want to thank everyone for having me, and hello everyone out there. I'm Anthony Nomo, he, they. And I'm an experienced designer focusing a lot on game design as well as a lot of design coaching too. I kind of like what I've wrote the guide for Descendants of the Queen. Really love to kind of pool and share that knowledge that we can all like make something better, make something kind of pull whatever's in our brains and kind of put it out there. And I love helping with that kind of stuff. But it all kind of started with when I originally made the first edition of this game for my family. And it was a lot of questions I had with my own identity and wanting to, like, as a third culture kid, as a child of immigrants, of like trying of Filipinx origin, first gen here, trying to figure out, my parents like immigrated here for me to be like super successful and have those opportunities, but at the same time like hold on to a tradition when those themes really clashed. And I didn't really start thinking about it until someone asked me if like vegan Filipino food was Filipino, and my immediate gut reaction was no. And that's a lot of people's gut reaction, but the thing is like, why? And it made me start thinking, and I had all of these questions, and I had wanted to design a game about this so long, but I didn't want to have any sort of hard and fast rules about codifying any sort of this these questions that I had until I encountered For the Queen, and I realized, oh, I don't have to have the answers to the questions. Everyone else can have the answers to these questions. But I really wanted to take it a little bit farther up and take it a little bit further, and not just share like my struggle of being very isolated in that journey to finding a way to have it be more holistic and more collectivistic with Tonight, all of you. So we
I'm so
can.
excited.
Yeah.
Same.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the true debut outside of random playtesting like that I could do here and by now. So this is very exciting. You'll see me very exposed and vulnerable. So this will be a fun ride.
Well, thank you so much, for bringing it to us. Excited to jump in.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. We having trouble. Okay, so if y'all can you can see on the Roll20, like I don't know if you can draw cards, but I'm going to try to at least start the game and we'll get into it. Okay. Go around the table clockwise, taking turns reading these cards aloud. And if you can't draw, I will draw, if that's cool.
Okay, I will try to draw. Let's see. Ooh, it says draw how many cards. So
Ooh.
should I just say one?
One.
Will that pick a random? Let's see what happens. No, I can't.
Okay, I'll draw it.
Uh-oh, okay. Half heart left in the homeland, half heart here at home.
I'll go next. Two tongues split across our lips, not one to call our own.
We've borne our birthplace's trials, all adversity and scorn.
Despite all our sacrifice, our elders expect more.
Our elders are now dying, leaving us their heirs alone.
Only we can inherit theirs, our legacy, our throne.
We are assuming the roles of a single generation of this family, blood or otherwise, to tell a collective story.
Our elders have returned to the homeland and have invited us to a reunion to inherit the family's legacy.
Our elders have nominated us and only us because there is no one else. And although we've felt the weight of their expectations our entire lives, we love them.
Choose a final question card and set it aside.
All right, let me. Can I not choose? Okay, there you go. There we go. Okay, let me pull out these cards. So for our family, one of the newer things is there is more than one final card. So we'll choose whatever out of these three, we can collectively decide which vibes well with us. So our elders leave us. Yeah, our elders leave us. Do you succeed them? The elders era has ended. Do you start anew? The family legacy is ours and ours alone. Do you share it? So yeah, I'll kick it to y'all to see what vibes with you.
Yeah.
I kind of like the
They're
middle
awesome.
one. They're all like, it's one of those things where it's hard for me to decide because I haven't played the game yet. I mean, this particular game. So it always feels like kind of a, yeah, but I'm intrigued by the middle one at the very least.
Yeah. I like the middle one too. I'm down.
But
Cool. That was easy.
yeah.
So just for anyone listening as a podcast, the question we've
Thank you.
chosen is the Elders era has ended. Do you start anew? Do we want to read the other options that were there before?
Oh, snap.
It's fine. If you can read off of the instruction card, that should be fine.
Yeah. The other one is our elders leave us. Do you succeed them? And the others is the elders era is behind. Oh, nope. That's the middle one. The family legacy is ours and ours alone. Do you share it? So different perspectives, like different of one kind of doing it for our family. Are we doing it for ourselves? Or even kind of flipping it around of usually we see legacies and family traditions as very insular, like, but how do we kind of go from there? What does it look like? Who owns that tradition? Okay, let me continue with the instructions.
I forget who was reading last.
I think I'm next.
Okay, go ahead.
Shuffle the prompt cards and place them face down at the center of the table.
Put the golden final question card in the middle of the deck for a game that takes about an hour and a half, or shuffle it in the bottom third of the deck to play for 2 hours or more. I do want to point out, Jess from Utopia definitely exposed me, said no game takes less than 30 minutes. and that has been very true for me. So it's like, I got to make this real. But yeah, I can put it in the middle, or depending on time, we could always call it up at any time. If
I was going to say you probably should hang on to the card on your hand so that when we're getting close to time, we can just choose to end.
Yeah, that sounds great.
Cool.
When you have read the instruction cards, continue clockwise with the pink prompt cards. Take turns reading the questions out loud. Interpret these questions and answer them however you wish.
Other players may ask you questions or make suggestions on your turn. However, whether you answer those questions or include those suggestions is entirely up to you.
Place the X card on the table where everyone can easily reach it.
And since we're a digital format, we can always just throw up the X, or say X, however we want to do it, or even type it in our chat.
Do we want to mention we're also making use of the check-in toolkit?
Oh, it's funny that you say that, because it's actually a part of the instructions.
Wonderful.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, I think that's your turn, Jeremy.
Oh, okay.
Oh, is it okay? If you encounter a card or an answer that you don't want to be included in the game, tap the X card. That content is removed from the game.
If you draw a card that is removed this way, simply draw another card. You can X a card you drew yourself.
You can also pass on your turn. To do so, give the prompt card you drew to the next player and say, I'd like to hear your answer to this question. Then continue around the table.
A prompt card can be passed around until someone applies the X card to it.
Continue answering, passing, and Xing questions until the final question card you've chosen is drawn.
Each player should answer that question in turn, then the game is over.
Or our family may lead to a very vulnerable and emotional headspace. During play, you may pause the game and check in by saying, how is everyone? Do we need a break?
If any one of you need a break, then take some time for yourselves. Your health is more important than the game or story.
Shared discussion is encouraged if comfortable, but listening is needed. Please remember to be kind to yourselves and each other.
Look through all of the illustrated legacy cards. These are entirely optional and are intended to inspire your story and be used as a reference during play. So let me throw out the legacy cards. So I want to give a shout out to the Art of Origami and Art of Jillian, both based in the Philippines, and something I really wanted to make sure that I hired people like in other countries and like support everyone there as best as I could. So I want to share their work because it's incredible. And this is partly why I want to fund more art, commission more artists, and and run this Kickstarter. But
Love it.
I think the Twitch screen might be a little small for this, but I will try to keep it. Actually, wait, let me recall this real quick. I think I did something out of order. I think I did. Yeah.
It's okay.
There you go.
If there are two that feel right for the group and your collective story, choose them and place them at the center of the table.
From those two cards, choose one that represents our birthplace and set it to the right. Then place the other off to the left. This represents our elder's homeland.
And for those keeping track of directions, it's the other right and the other left, opposed to what is on the screen.
Yeah, we don't do anything straight.
It's one of those.
That's true.
I love that. But yeah, it's very fun. I was looking at the screen. It's like, yeah, that's how it works. It's like looking at the mirror, like my right, my left. So, out of these legacy cards, we're going to choose kind of two art pieces that like vibe with.
Ooh, that bird, that sunset.
Yeah. I don't know how big the screen is.
The screen's basically from if it's within the 3 play card
Okay.
like decks,
Cool.
it's fine.
Yeah.
Cool. Let me then just like shrink these a little bit as I pull them out. But so one is going to be where we were born, and the other place is where our elders are calling us back to.
Okay.
So representing kind of the different cultures and different legacies.
There's a butterfly kitty.
For our podcast listeners, there is what I'm going to say pink. It could be red. Kristen's going to say a pink butterfly kitty. I think those are horns.
It's red and
I
pink.
cannot.
No, they have what's it called? It has horns and butterfly wings. So
And when we say kitty, it's actually more like a big cat, so like a tiger or a lion, not like a house cat.
Correct. Thank you.
Oh my
Mariam.
gosh. Yeah, for our podcast listeners, you need to see the artwork in this game. It is beautiful.
Can we? Would we?
I love the bone dragon.
We could maybe post along with our episode. Maybe provide what the art prompts that we used, like the final art prompts that we used are, if that's okay.
Yeah, of course.
Hopefully when you listen to this as a podcast, you can see the art prompts that we have.
Very cool. Okay, so we choose two.
Yes, choose two. One.
The kitty has to be one of them.
Kitty is obviously one of them. That's indisputable for sure.
Yeah.
So let's choose another, and then we can decide where we're from or where we're going.
Okay.
I really like the dragon, like throne thing, and I also like the bird one. Those two stick out to me, but I'm also open to suggestions.
Yeah, Jeremy, what are you thinking?
Oh, I like all of them. I was going to say, out of the two that you have, that you mentioned, Mariam, I think something I was looking for is maybe something that feels like a really stark contrast to the other. And I think the bone ghost dragon feels like a starker contrast than the like sunset with the red phoenixy bird.
It looks like kind of air versus forest sort of a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also really like the one that is to the right of the bone dragon. So it looks like a pink or red light that is shooting up into is that like a purple violet sky? But it's beautiful. I was trying to describe for our listeners.
I don't know why it reminds me of She-Ra a little, like the animated series.
Oh, it does have that She-Ra vibe.
It has mad She-Ra, mad Steven Universe vibes.
Yeah, it looks.
Universe.
It looks like a magical girl transformation is happening right there.
Yes.
Yes.
So I do like that a lot.
I will say, like, when I commission the artists, and honestly, if you're listening to this and you want to do art for this, hit me up. But
Love it.
for real, one of the things, like, I actually didn't give direction. I wanted people with like very interesting styles, and I want things to be very starkly different.
Yeah.
And honestly, very surprised and impressed, which I feel like I shouldn't be because the artists are incredible, but I'm always just like, oh.
Yeah, there's something about seeing art for your game. I think
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely.
you can't prepare fully for it.
Oh, yeah. And especially when I didn't give direction, I'm just like,
Yeah.
I gave like very basic and they came up with this. I was like, absolutely. Yes, please.
I love it. I'm
Okay, so-
also completely fine going with the bone dragon. I just wanted to call attention to that other art piece because I just, like Jeremy, I like all of them. So
Yeah.
Okay, so
So
we're keeping the cat for sure.
Okay.
I was gonna say the one that looks like it's got the magical girl thing looks a little futuristic-y to me too,
Mhm.
which I also like as a contrast with the cat.
So I feel like we're right now deciding between either the bone dragon or, you know, the magical girl one. Do we have a preference either way? Because I'm so bad at like making a
that
decision.
final decision. Anthony, do you have a
Anthony.
preference between the two?
You know
Yeah.
what? I want to go with the magical girl one because it's a different artist. So
Oh, cool. Okay.
Yeah.
that way we
Yeah.
can
Let's
showcase
Let's
both.
highlight both.
Yeah.
Just because
I love it.
honestly, I love the Bone Dragon too.
Oh, it's the
but,
same artist who did the cat.
The bone, yeah, the cat, the bone dragon, and like the flying bird dragon, all one artist, and then the windmill, like the promare looking building, and then the
Yeah.
magical girl transformation, different artist.
Very cool.
Yeah, very cool.
So yeah, it's now which one did our parents come from, and which one did we come from? Or by parents, I mean elders, because it doesn't have to be our parents. But yeah,
So do we want to exist in Magical Girl Land or in Butterfly Kitty Land?
What you just said is so on brand for this. That's our tagline. Because the magical girl one looks futuristic, that makes me think of kind of like where we're going, but I genuinely don't have a preference. So if Jeremy, Anthony, if either one of you have a preference, I'm
I say let's just go with that. You
Okay.
you just made a suggestion. Like,
Okay.
okay, so let's do that.
you
Yeah,
said where
done.
we're going. Which do you mean? Like our elders are from, or where we're from?
I'm sorry, where we are from.
Great, cool. And I forgot whose turn it was, but I guess I'll start.
Okay.
Look through the how they see us roll cards. Like the legacy cards, these are entirely optional. And oh shit. Whoops. Sorry. I don't know if I can curse on this.
You can.
Yeah, you can.
Okay. It'll
We usually have issues more with slurs than swear words.
great. Don't have any of those. I don't know why I said it like that. I'm so sorry, everyone.
It's like we have a little Rolodex of just slurs that will occasionally go through the
Oh
way.
my god. Rolodex for all you Gen Zers out there.
Look, I come
Don't
from
know
a
what that is.
I come from a generation where I know what the save icon looks like because I saw it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there you
I
go.
I'm old.
You're not.
Same.
Oh, no. I'm not sharing my age. Okay, I think it's my turn. If everyone at your table agrees to play with these, then everyone can look through the cards and choose one for themselves that seems interesting to them.
When all players have chosen their role card, then take turns reading and answering the prompts on your own cards. Then whoever wants may draw the first prompt card.
Cool. So this is a new addition to Descended from the Queen games, but very it's not going to be too much different from just how a normal game starts, except we get to choose what kind of archetype we are and what kind of it's almost like a playbook for this kind of game, because usually this is normally built for creating your character, your relationship with the primary, and then the world all at the same time. This gives people the option, if they wanted to try, like, have more direction to play off like what they normally play off, to have that, as well as making sure if one person does it, we all do it. So let me deal out these roll cards, and if anyone resonates to any of you, claim it.
Okay.
So yeah, there's the healer, There is the
Sounds
fuck. There's the fuck up.
Wow, I don't feel called out at all.
Oh, yep. It's gonna be a lot of that this game. A lot of personal attacks gonna happen. Be exalted. The lawful. The curse. The chosen one. And the virtuoso. Yes, I know I'm covering up some of the prompt questions. I'll clear them up once we all get to kind of choose our vibe.
I guess if nobody has a clear whatever, or unless we're all like, rock, paper, scissoring for it, I probably will take the fuck up.
Jeremy, Kristin?
At the lawful.
Cool.
What do you think, Jeremy?
I was looking at the lawful or the healer, and the healer was probably my first choice. So
I
I'll
was
take the
looking
healer.
at the lawful and the healer was my second choice. I'm not even kidding.
Amazing how that works out.
Okay.
Okay, let me get rid of that.
Should we read them too for the
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
this will
well-
be, I was gonna say, is like once we choose our cards, we're gonna read them and they'll be our first prompts.
Oh, cool.
Thank you.
I love
Yeah.
it.
That way we don't have to go through every single one. Plus, for those listening, gonna have to follow me and get the rest of them
Yep.
some details.
Exactly.
There you go.
So that we I feel like I'm gonna be the curse.
Okay.
Cool.
So in whatever order we want to start, that will be what's it called? Yeah, we'll start reading and answering these questions for ourselves, and then we'll start the game just going through the prompts.
Okay. Sorry, do we answer these out loud or are we answering
Yes.
them?
So
Okay.
so just like the game, you're going to read them out loud, and then you're going to answer them.
Okay.
And then we'll continue on the order we've been going. So who would like to start? Okay, well, I'll start. I'll do that. I can at the very least do that. Let me at least adjust the order here. The curse. When our elders look at you, they are reminded of past sins. What do you think they see? I think they don't see me as their mistake. They see me as someone else's. Like, it's like they inherited me. It's like something happened with them, like coming over here, and then as a result, like I came up, whether as an accident or as like something else. I became a representation of like a result of a lot of their hardship.
Yeah. I guess I can go next.
Okay.
So my prompt reads, "The fuck up. Once upon a time, you were our elder's favorite. What changed?" And I think it was definitely, while growing up, being surrounded by perhaps an extended family, and being able to live in a sort of bubble of what our elders had done and their traditions and all the milestones. And I think once school started and I'm now out of that bubble, that perhaps I don't really. I've taken more to our where we live at the moment than what I was taught about how the world is and how the world works.
So,
Go ahead.
oh, was it it was like a cultural thing? It wasn't like a career academic thing. It was very much like, oh, you're behaving different.
Yeah, I think where we came from, I think the world and nature and life is a lot more kind of one with nature and not as showy as some of the magic on this planet, this community is, where it's basically transformative and there's dramatics and the whole theater of it, and everyone's a hero, whereas it was more of being more in tune with nature and life. And I'm going from the whole, we're all part of this cycle of life and nature and everything, to suddenly being going, I'm trying to think of a really catchy sort of a thing off, like, I'm drama girl, and then doing a peace sign and two hearts, and suddenly I go from no makeup at all to really dramatic, makeup.
Yeah.
And our elders are like, why do you have to be so dramatic?
Oh.
Oh gosh.
You're embarrassing us. So that's me, the fuck up. Maybe maybe I go. I was about to say, like, I go to, like, I mess everything up. Ka-ching!
Really embraced it. I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, fully embraced. Do you want me to go,
Right.
Jeremy?
Yeah, why don't you go?
Okay. The lawful. Our elders rely on you the most, but recognize you the least. Why do you persist nonetheless? I think the first two things that come to mind are responsibility and guilt. So I think that maybe I wasn't always the one that was relied upon. And maybe I made life, like, I felt like I made life a little bit difficult for people. And then as I got older, decided to kind of make up for that. And so as the elders started to rely on me more, then like that sense of like almost having to make things up to them. And then also a sense of like, well, I have to continue to do this, especially as the elders continue to get older. If I won't help care for them, who will, type of feeling.
Amazing. I have a follow-up question.
Okay.
What is your relationship to the fuck up of Mariam's character? Because Mariam's character used to be the favorite.
Right. It's almost like we've swapped. I think if it's okay, at least from my end, Mariam, you let me know how you feel. I think that it's complicated because I almost feel like the fuck up now has a little bit more freedom. Like I kind of like woke up one day and was like, oh wait, I have to do the responsible stuff and they don't have to. And I don't see a whole lot of consequences there from the lawful's paradigm. And so I think there's like almost some envy of like the freedom that the fuck up appears to have.
Yeah, I can kind of see that.
Cool.
Amazing. Thank you.
Yeah.
So I'm the healer. Our family seeks you and only you when they feel hurt. What do you always fix but never restore? So I think I want to say that the thing I always fix but never restore is the relationships between the family members. So when there's, in particular, when there's conflict between members of the family, I am someone that people talk to, and I can help people maybe like get past it and to like start talking again, to like maybe see where the other person, maybe not even see where the other person's coming from, but like feel more okay in the moment. But that hurt has still happened, and that change has still happened. And I think that that's something that is hard maybe for me, because I sometimes want to be able to restore things to make things be more okay like they used to be. Yeah.
Amazing. All right, and so begins the game, as if we weren't already playing. So I'll start. When did you know you were different from the rest of our family? Do you hide it? I think I like the moment I could really have like some sort of like cognizance or sentience of like an awareness of myself. So like probably pretty little, where I'm like, I was included in everything, but was very much never like checked in on, or if someone like, it was very much like anyone else got any praise, I didn't. It was very much an expectation. But I would say, at least for this, for me personally, to know like what else I was different besides how they were treating me, like I think I was a teenager when I first started like coming into my own and starting to realize that I was gay. And I actually don't hide it, because it oddly didn't change how they treated me. So it was almost freeing in a way. So I kind of, and it's not necessarily like I kind of came out, it just kind of happened, where it's just like, oh, the curse is bringing like another boy home. It's fine. We're just going to ignore it. We're just going to turn the page of a newspaper and just continue on living our lives.
Can I ask a follow-up question?
Please.
Do you think that, sorry, I couldn't remember if I was going to say your character or you. Do you have a preference if I say your character or address it you as you?
No, you could say you.
Okay.
That's fine.
How did you feel about that? Like, were you expecting some tension or some celebration? So how did you feel about it being almost life as usual as a reaction?
Yeah, I think I felt really hurt, because like at least the neglect hurts more than like the backlash. Like everyone else gets backlash, and the way I see it, it's like, oh, like they just care more, and the fact they don't care, like that hurts. So like I definitely wish I could have had some sort of reaction, like any reaction. And the fact that it was like very just stone faced, it was something I shouldn't have been surprised by, but it still like hit.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Woof.
Where are we going in?
These are random, and yeah, sorry, not sorry. A little sorry.
I mean, that's how I feel with For the Queen. It just seems no matter what question I get, it's hard hitting, but that's how the game is. Yeah, so the prompt is, our family has hurt you. How have you forgiven us? I'm just thinking a little, because it's one of those things where woof. I think it's sort of little it's kind of like more of a death by 1,000 cuts rather than any sort of big hurt. And I think it's when any time that I have I think my character is maybe sort of like really proficient or like natural and has a knack with just magic in general, since we're playing in very fantastical magical worlds.
Right.
I'm gonna roll with that. And I think in our homeland, magic is a lot more common. Maybe not flashy, but it's a lot more commonplace. And because it's so commonplace, there's like this wanting, like the only way to get noticed or to be considered great is to stand out, which is at odds with the whole, you know, we're not really into flashy magic sort of a thing. But I guess it's more of like when we're talking about standing out, it's less about dramatics and kind of performance and more about big magic that can affect things at a macro level rather than sort of like, oh hey, here's some small magic here, small magic there. And me being able to channel and use magic at a very young age, and the fact that I am doing sort of like really cool flashy things where I can do full costume transformation or, you know, fly really fast and high and everything. Those are quite impressive because people my age who have that knack can't do what I can do. But when I come home or show my family, they're all like, that's great, but have you fixed agriculture? Have you fixed our blight? You know, things like that. And it's like slowly sort of been like, you know, like little pinpricks. My little balloon of self-esteem has got like millions of holes. And how have I forgiven our family? I think it's with oh well, they're not used to this world, so, you know, like sort of forgiven because they're ignorant.
Does that include us?
I think it really depends on how y'all see the things I'm passionate about, maybe. So yeah, I guess it would also include y'all, but maybe a little less so because y'all are born here, so you should know better.
Mm-hmm.
It's like
Okay.
it's kind of in the line of your being able to forgive older people of a lot worse things because it's like, well, they're too old to learn or know better.
Yeah. Woof.
Yeah.
The card says, how have you forgiven us? But I just want to ask, it feels in my mind so far like we're a big family. Is there anyone you haven't forgiven?
Ooh. Maybe one of my parents is actually like a mage, a proper mage.
Ooh. Mm-hmm.
And maybe I have verbally, you know, kind of just brushed it aside, but that probably is the biggest and spikiest thorn of all, because they know that these are impressive feats.
Right.
I wonder if they were your biggest supporter and fan before you fucked up.
Yep.
Oh,
Before I decided to lean into the flashy and dramatic. It's like, you don't have to do a costume change every time you do a little piece of magic. You could just do the thing and just be done with it.
Yeah.
Have to, but why wouldn't you?
Oh, absolutely. And just to like remind our viewers and listeners, so these aren't like role cards. These aren't who we are. This is who our elders see us as. So very much, do we embrace that identity or not? So,
Yeah.
so Mariam's character is not a fuck up. They're called one.
Right.
Oh yeah, I'm actually really
Amazing.
Exactly.
impressive.
Exactly.
Incredible.
It's very much, you know, totally not relatable in any shape or form.
Right.
Of being, I don't know, like a really great performer and all of that stuff, but it's just like, but you're not a doctor, so okay.
We're not drawing from reality here at all.
No, not at all.
Definitely not.
No, I got all these questions out of a generator.
Exactly.
This is AI work.
Yeah.
Is it my turn?
It is your turn.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. My card says, you suspect that this reunion isn't just about inheriting the family's legacy. What else do you believe is happening? Okay. You suspect that this reunion isn't just about. I just can't get the word judgment out of my head. I think that maybe there's also some sort of test or judgment that is happening about our abilities, since we are leaning into the magic, which I love. Magical abilities, our ability to be able to take over the legacy, how successful are we? Like, just really, I feel like there's a lot of judgment that is also going to be happening that might then affect that inheritance or other things in our lives going forward. Judgment.
Just got to formalize it. That's all.
So my follow-up is, how do you think you're going to fare in that judgment?
I am worried that everything that I have done to become the one that the elders rely on is not going to be enough to make up for what has been done. I think that there's at least some people, I think at least one of my parents is of the mindset of one mess up can erase like 1,000 attaboys. Kristin never heard that growing up. And so we
Look at me, for example.
So it doesn't matter. I think there's just a worry that, so how I feel I'm going to fare is on paper, I feel like I should, with my standing in the family now, do okay. But I'm worried that my past is not going to be forgotten.
Dang.
Some generator, he got these questions out of.
Oh, yeah. If you type in my brain, you'll find.
So why do you hesitate to inherit our family's legacy? So I guess I think that I worry as much as when I try and heal things, or when I do heal things, I want to be able to restore them to how they were. I think I also worry a lot that inheriting the legacy has to mean trying to be what they were, what our family was. I have seen the way that parts of our family have treated each other. Like I'm the one people come to when people have been cruel to each other or have hurt each other. And I have seen what people can do, and I don't know that I want to be what this family has been. So I don't know that's what I want to be.
Are we passive aggressive or aggressive aggressive?
I think it varies. We're a big family. We've got it all.
I was also gonna kind of get a little to the jugular and ask, what is our legacy?
Oh,
I think that's very mysterious to what we think it is to versus what our elders think it is.
Right.
We just know. We just know we're gonna go back to the magical kitty butterfly horn jungle with like fish spirits and everything. It's like, are we supposed to be keepers of the forest? Are we supposed to be doing something else? We have our own ideas, but that's a big question. And I think we're all thinking it.
Yep.
yeah.
And as much criticism as I get for my flashy magic, I mean, come on, it's a butterfly horned kitty.
Could rule the land, Mariam.
How can it not be flashy? It's flashy for just existing.
I mean, you look through the hypocrisy. I don't know.
Oh.
I have one follow-up question. Is there anyone in the family that you confide in? So since everyone goes to you specifically about relationship drama or problems, is there anyone you talk to about your relationship conflicts?
I think so. I'm gonna offer something, and I think I might go to the fuck up. I think you're the person I talk to, because I think you're the person who I assume, whether I'm right or not, might have the same hesitancies as me about you're one of the people who I think might have the same hesitancies about me about the family legacy for similar reasons. I think that you might have also be really aware of the ways in which that hurt can kind of happen. I think the same is, I think you are probably one of, if not the only person I go to.
Who does the confident confide in?
Yeah.
I'm maybe I would talk to the curse too, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Yeah.
I'm sure you have, but I've always made it weird.
There we go.
There it is.
It's like you try, and it's maybe later it feels okay, but always in the moment it feels weird, and it's because I make it weird.
There we go. That's the reason. I was like, I don't know why I don't, but I think I don't. Yeah. So I think I go to the fuck up. I love it.
Love it.
Cool.
Before we move on to another question, actually, we're at right about an hour, and so I think I have a script for this, but we're going to take a short break for 5 minutes, and when we come back, we're gonna jump back into For Our Family. So thank you, everyone, and see everyone in about 5 minutes. Hello, and welcome back to They're a Super Geek. I'm Jeremy, and I'm here with my co-hosts, Mariam and Kristin, and we are playing For Our Family by our guest, Anthony, where we are playing as the new generation of our family in a magical world, a magical girl flashy magical world. And our family is from a very different sort of magical world and has different traditions. We are at a reunion or we are gathering together and exploring what our relationship is to our family and to our legacy.
If I may, it's like we were in Avatar, and now we're in She-Ra.
Yep.
Yes.
Good description.
Yeah.
Love it. All right, I'll kick us off again. Our elders rarely express affection. How do they know they love you? Well, as the curse, I actually think my curse is, I think I'm actually the firstborn of like the matriarch of our family, but I was born with like limited magical capabilities of both worlds. So like it's showing that like I'm like almost like like magically disabled in that kind of fact where I think they show me that they love me by always like saving a plate of food for me. Even if they are pretty like unemotional to me most of the time, like neither like judgment or praise or anything like that, they do include me, if anything. So I kind of cling on to that, and any sort of like invitations like, oh, we're gonna do a ritual, you can't do it, but you can sit here and watch us. I'm like, okay. But I am clinging on to any sort of thread of that. But when they do, and like when they do remember me, that's how I know.
So because you've said the magical F word, I'm gonna now ask, what food do they leave for you?
I was like, what F word?
Well, yeah, I was like, F word.
Food. I knew Mariam.
Okay. Honestly, they what's it called? I think when they left me like the best part of like the magical beast, like the ribs, like the fattiest part, he just like grunt and just like, huh. Just gave it to me. I was like, oh, nobody else got this. We all fight over this. We have to bribe people to get this. And then I scurry away. So it's like, I think yeah, it's something definitely like fatty and meaty and like definitely roasted on a spit type of thing.
Like the prime cut.
Mm-hmm. But it's like they like, especially like my parents, they don't treat it like that. They're just like, you need to eat. And I'm like, yeah, I'll take it. Cool.
Ooh, this is a good question. Our elders overcame great adversity in order to leave their homeland. What did they leave behind? And I think that what they left behind is definitely a lot more physical than sort of like a cultural or symbolic thing. I think what they left behind was their little, the land that we were on and that our family had was near this, basically the picture that is there, that it was this wonderful little waterfall where a lot of the fantastical spirits and creatures in the area would come. And there's this one particular seasonal event where I'm gonna say, because right now we're doing this in autumn, we're doing it in fall, that sort of the equivalent of like an all spirits eve sort of a thing, where the veil between the spirit world and our world is at its thinnest, and we get to see all the spirit world creatures during the evening and night on All Spirits Eve, and that just doesn't really happen in our birthplace. Or it's very hard to find here.
Do they ever show that they miss like having that like druidic spirit conversation, those relationships? Do they ever show that?
I think so. I think there might be a little shrine in our like family home, especially in where the elders live, where it's sort of like a miniature waterfall where it actually kind of has water spilling and almost like a little miniature of the place. And they will sometimes offer food or do things that kind of mimic the things we would do to at least teach us those traditions if we ever return to the homeland, so that we're not savages. The one particular one particular
savage magical girls.
Yeah. You know what, uncouth. And actually know how to do these, but it's just not the same. We have not been able to experience what would actually happen if we were there and did those rituals versus what rituals are done to the little miniature, very good replica shrine.
I love it. What is the most difficult part of this reunion? How do you pull the rest of us through it? I think the most difficult part of the reunion is the tension that everyone feels before whichever of the elders has been chosen or elected to give kind of like the speech, not only about the legacy, but just about the family in general. Before they give that speech, I think there's just a lot of like nerves and tension. And so I think the way I get us through it, I'm assuming the rest of us is us four, right?
Yeah.
So I think how I get us through it is that, the elders would be so disappointed, is that I think that we have some sort of magical like drink, and whether to you that's like alcohol or like an edible or like a warming, comforting cup of tea, I won't make that decision. I think what it is that when the person drinks it, it's their biggest comfort, however they kind of envision that, and that's the magic of this drink. And we're not supposed to have it before the speech, but I found some, and I think that we
Oh, you're
we
the
go
cool
out
cousin.
back.
Yes.
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 I'm partial to edibles.
Same. But that's why I was like, I'm not going to decide for everyone.
Mainly because you can hide them in your pocket versus a
Right.
drink.
Right? I like it. So you can have a little gummy edible. I'm going to pretend it's a kitty, but I don't know what yours is. Yeah. So I think we got to go out back and have this magical drink or edible. And it's fun, or it's comforting. It's whatever we need as individuals in that time.
It's like a
Beautiful. I
neon
love
tic
that.
tac.
Yeah.
God, whatever that is, sign me up.
Right? How do we make this a real thing?
I love that the lawful is the cool cousin who snuck this for us all. I want to ask, do you think any of the elders know that we're sneaking this?
Yes. I think that there is an elder who is a little cooler in our mind, right? Who like as like probably even saw us, or
I mean, it's
one of
neon.
us,
It's hard to miss.
right? And like
Mhm.
kind of looked over and like gave us a little wink and then distracted one of the other elders. So yeah, I definitely think there's one
Yes.
elder who's like a little cooler than
I love that. I bet
wonder
like
if
they've
they
given to us in the
partake.
past.
Yeah. I wonder if they've also partaken like that's their egg management fee of allowing us to get away with
Yeah.
it.
Yes, I think so. They were the rebel back in the day.
Yeah.
Even in the homeland, and I feel like they might just be a little like, all the stuff in the homeland, it's not all cracked up to be. It's fine. It's fine.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, I love that. Did it-
What keeps you from abandoning our family? Oh.
The edibles. Sorry.
Those neon Tic Tacs.
Sorry, Jeremy. I'm sorry.
I think so. I think it's it's a couple things. I guess there's a difference maybe between like what I usually say, what I would say if one of you asked like why do you stick around, versus maybe what it is. I think my answer of what I would say would be referencing like a handful of like the cool people who I get along with. It's for this magic drink. I stick around for the fuck up. Because someone's gotta look out for the awkward one. But really, because I think it's as much as I feel like I think our family doesn't get everything about me and maybe who I want to be. And as much as they sometimes like, I think our family fucks up and hurts each other. I think they get parts of me in a way that like no one in this like new world outside of my family does. Like, and it kind of is, I guess, all of those like it is the fuck up. It is the it is the stolen drinks. It's the jokes. It's the glances. It's the things I don't have to explain.
Yeah.
Like it feels, even when it doesn't feel good, it feels a different kind of safe, maybe, than I can find other places.
Mm-hmm.
As the phrase goes, the horned butterfly cat,
Exactly.
That is what they say.
Yeah, we all know the saying.
Yeah.
Here's a question. Do you even want to be the healer? Like, you're really good at it, but is that something that you like doing at all? Or is it something that you're just good at?
Oh, I don't know that I would know who I was if I wasn't the healer. I still don't know that the answer is yes. Because it's a lot sometimes, most of the time. But I don't know, what else would I be?
Damn.
Leave that hanging in the air.
Yep. And we'll go to this next great question. How does your presence endanger everyone at this reunion?
Oof, of all the questions to pick.
I think so. Since we're back in the the jungle, this magical like forest, I think the spirits can recognize that I'm not as magical, and they're like, who is this outsider? Who's this anomaly? Because even for Mariam, your character, the like you still have a profound like amount of magic and this like emanating like power, and it's like such a whisper from me where it's almost like the spirits of the forest like suspect that I'm hiding something. And I think my presence like compromises like the kind of judgment, the kind of test that we have to take, because I think the forest itself, the spirits that are there, are questioning and like are on like a razor's edge of like accepting me or not.
Can I add that maybe I don't see your lack of magic as a lack of magic, but I just, because I'm so dramatic all the time, that, oh, you just must be very subtle in your magic. So, you probably have really deep magic, but it's just really subtle.
Yeah, I think that's what the spirits would be like. You can't not be magical. You're here. So why? So what's your deal?
Oh,
Oh.
I'm curious. You said that like so you're on like a razor's edge of whether or not they accept you, right?
Mhm.
So do you accept them? Like what's how do you feel about them?
Oh, well, I think my presence like compromises like all of you too, but I think I so desperately want to be like communicate with them, but the communication tools I've learned growing up was non-communication. So I think I want to, because that's what we were told and raised with. But in terms of actually like really want to, I think they scare me. I think they legitimately scare me, and it's something where the magic back like to our in our home, in our birthplace, like people control that magic. It's very very individual, very dramatic, as we've been saying, but this is very wild. This is very natural and very like mysterious, in that we can't see the source, and I can't see the source. So at least if I could understand the person, I could understand like the magic based off the reaction. If I just look at an entire like ecosystem, that's terrifying for me. So I think I want to, but I'm incredibly scared.
Yeah.
Oh, that's me. For a second, I almost was like, ooh, who's going to be answering? Oh, wait, that's me. What makes you long to have been raised in the homeland? I think it's the whole, again, I'm going to kind of go upon the whole, death of 1,000 prick cuts sort of a thing. Of I sometimes wish we were raised in the homeland, because then my magic would have turned out that way and been more accepted than what it currently is, being so dramatic and kind of, even though I love it and I probably would do it again, but I think a part of me is kind of like, I wish I was ignorant of this, because then I'd be more accepted.
Mm. Yeah, no questions for me.
Yeah, that was good. That was just our is it my turn?
It is your
Yeah.
turn.
Okay, I was lost in Miriam's answer.
Oh, it's all good.
Our elders idolize a public figure, but reprimand you when you imitate them. Why? So they idolize a public figure. So the question is, I get reprimanded when I imitate that public figure, correct?
Yes. Like you take on their values, you like try to be like them in any sort of way.
Yeah. I think that maybe the reason that they idolize that public figure is more because they want to kind of, that's the part of them that wants to maybe fit into where we are now. But so like when we're out and we are interacting with folks that are not in our family, then it's okay to idolize that public figure. But behind closed doors, when it's our family, the values are different, right? How we dress, how we act, what we say is different. And I think that my character, in wanting to kind of make up for things from the past, when I realized that this was someone that the elders idolized, like just leaned into it hard, right? Like this person is everything. I'm just going to act like them all the time. And I kind of ended up learning the hard way that no, it's only in public around other people that we really idolize them.
I'm imagining everyone like having like kind of sports jerseys and flags and banners like over the top. And the moment you come home, just casting it off the side.
Right. And I like got the tattoo and I'm like, oh, too far. Yeah. Too far.
Oh my God. It's like a tattoo. Why would you get a tattoo? It's like very confused. Like, what?
I mean, nobody wants to be a tryhard.
I know.
I also wonder, like, if they, because our elders idolize this public figure, but our elders are also much more firmly rooted in like our family's traditions and our history and our heritage. I wonder if they don't see themselves as maybe like they don't think that they would become like this person or lose those things, but like maybe they think that you will, you know, it's just another sign that you're drifting away.
Right. Yeah, I like that. That's a good addition.
All right. Jeremy, it's to you.
Who here do you believe isn't worthy of inheriting our family's legacy? Oh.
Sorry.
We just took edibles together.
Right? How can you pick anyone?
I don't think any of us are worthy because I think we are worth more than our family's legacy. I not more, but like it's that, like I said, like I am not convinced that I love our family's legacy. I love a lot of our family, but I like from like what I see, I don't know that our legacy is something. What I see as our legacy, whether or not it's what you all see or what our family sees as their legacy, what I see as our legacy involves a lot of that hurt and pain, and that's not something that I think any of us are worth. I think we're worth. I think we're different than that. I think we can be more than that. Maybe we can take parts of it, but none of us deserves to inherit the entirety of the legacy.
This was not the wholesome answer I was expecting.
I thought it was pretty wholesome. I felt a lot.
That's what I meant by like I was expecting like, oh God, there's gonna be a choice, and it's like, oh, the feelings that come from it, and it's like, no, none of us. I was like, oh, that's hard, and then when because we're worth more, I'm like, oh, there's like a roller coaster of emotional journey here.
It's like the Simpsons thing's like, oh, this is good, but it's cursed. Oh, that's bad. But it's discount, but that's good.
Uh,
So
I
that
love
was amazing.
That was
Yeah, that was a great,
Yeah.
like, amazing answer.
Mhm.
God. Our extended family calls us diluted for being raised away from the homeland. Do you believe them? Absolutely. Can't talk to spirits. No, it's like I like rest of us are, some of us are flashy. I can't, like, I can probably do some like prestidigitation maybe.
Small
Or, like,
magics.
yeah, small magics. But in terms of like it's especially for me, I definitely believe in, because I'm thinking like, since I'm the curse, I think because they moved away, our elders moved away, I feel like and I was raised and I was told that I was the result of that. And it was almost like a huge relief when the fuck up was born, because all the magical ability in the world, and it was amazing for them. And yeah, for me, it was just very much like, yeah, I feel, especially since like being so scared of the homeland, it's like I do feel very diluted. Like, and I will say, if anyone ever told any of our extended family told that to my face, I'd fight them with words or something, or run away. I don't know. I think I like it would be one of those things like in a movie where I have this huge like scene of like standing up for myself, having some witty quips and say, and it goes back to just my face, stone face, like just nod, and then I walk away.
Right? It's all in your head.
Yeah, it's
Yep.
all in my head. It's like, yeah, it's like, man, I was so cool in this other reality.
I feel like
Oh,
the
yep.
fuck up would very much stand up for you, because it's like, you know, just because you can't see it doesn't mean it doesn't exist.
Oh man, I feel like that hurts so much too. For me, it's like, oh, I need them to defend me.
Oh,
Well, actually, well, I think that's my initial, but then like when I sit like off to the side, because I process everything differently, and slowly I just like, hey, it was actually really nice. I've like someone defended me. But I think like riddled with panic attacks, just of like,
Yeah.
but yeah, no, and I definitely love you for that.
I will
wonder
fight
if
the Tic Tac team. I mean, fight for the Tic
For
Tac
the
team.
Tic Tac team.
There you go.
so I have a question for you. Do you think that do you ever, or do you think that any of us ever claim the claim the deludedness? Like is it an inherently negative thing, or is it something that any one of us can reclaim, even to you?
I mean, the person who defended me, the fuck up, that's the only person who could claim, since they are so good at it. Because like, at least if you're diluted, you're the best. So, like, at least that's what I think.
Cool.
Yeah, man, I'm not sure with you, but yeah, that's my thing. It's like, well, if like they're certainly living that life.
Like, it's very hard. Like, I guess it's one of those things where probably I probably bristle the most from that word being applied, not just on me, but on anyone, but especially you. Because to me, it means less than or something. And I'm like, look at me. I can do both, you know, sort of a thing. And I'm good at both, and I will kick your butt with both, you know, sort of.
Or like, we're not diluted, we're distilled.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, I love that. Not diluted, we're distilled. If we named episodes, that would be the name of this episode.
Yeah. Distilled, not diluted.
Yes.
Mhm.
Love it.
All right.
Oh. So you weren't planning on attending this reunion. Who convinced you? This is not at all relatable to me at all. But yeah, I think because maybe recently, as we are reaching into our mature, or we're all adults, I'm assuming at this point, as we're playing this game, or rather sort of answering these questions, as that perhaps one of what is it, self-care and biggest things you can do for yourself is stand up for yourself. And sort of the reunion would be great because I get to see all of y'all, and I get to like see a lot of other people that like our cool elder who kind of just takes a couple of egg management fee tic tacs or stuff, and it would be great seeing them. But then more often than not, I feel pretty bad about myself because of the whole thousand little pricks and microaggressions of, oh, your magic is too flashy and all of that stuff. So for the first time, I was going to be like, nope, not going to go. I would rather go have a root canal. Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Then go here, and I think it was the Tic Tac team that was just like convinced me that you should come, and especially for some of our elders, maybe the last time we're seeing them, and it might be better to deal with all the bad feelings I might have than have FOMO should I not go.
Had you told anyone that you weren't going, other than us?
I think I might have told like immediate family of like, oh, I'm busy, I've gotten this new kind of the adventure party, we're going and doing things, we're saving this like little town on the opposite side of this planet, so it's gonna be really hard. Yes, I know I can teleport, but what if they need me? The communications are just, I can't hear you, there's all the static.
I have a very important question. What color are you and your team?
I am going to go with electric violet.
Ooh.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love that.
Same. Good follow-up question.
Yeah.
Also, it's very important. It's
very important. I need to. What color am I in the team?
Yeah, the moment you said you're a team, like, oh, clearly.
We're a new team. We're working it out. We've got our purple, we've got our pink, we've got our blue. We're just missing like a green or a red, depending on what side of the spectrum we wanted to go.
I feel like you're auditioning.
Yeah, we're auditioning for our fourth. Yeah, that's why it's really hard for me to come to this reunion, because we still need to find our fourth member.
Yeah.
All right, Kristin, to you.
I know I've read it twice. I like glanced over and I was like, is that really what it says? Okay. Our elders rejected someone with whom you fell in love. Are they still in your life? Yes, I just don't bring them to family reunions.
Do we know them?
I think that, yes, that when we do our, our, like, I was going to say FaceTime, like holograms, like when we do our hologram calls to say hi to each other, I think that you have met them, but definitely the elders don't think that they're in my life anymore. So they don't come to family reunions, get-togethers. If we celebrate holidays, whatever that looks like for us, festivals, then they don't come. But otherwise, they're still in my life.
How do they feel about that?
Yeah, that was my question.
Oh, sorry.
No, we're same page.
I think it's one of those things that is causing a problem, because I feel like I probably say, the next time I'll bring you, right? Like, it doesn't matter what they say, the next time I'll bring you. But then I can't, because this, like this festival that we celebrate, like, it's so important to these people. And so if I come with you and it causes problems, then it takes away from like those people whose special day it is or special time it is. And so there's always like this excuse. And so I think they probably feel pretty sad, but I feel justified. I'm doing the best I can.
Yeah.
I have the juicy question. Why were they rejected?
Ooh.
Oh yeah.
Ooh. That's a good one. I'll go simple. I think that and I won't speak for the extended family, but I think in my immediate family, there are expectations of what I'm supposed to do, and the type of person I am supposed to end up partnering with. And those expectations were not met in the eyes of the elders.
And then follow up, is it anything that your partner can work on? Or is it basically unchangeable?
I'm just thinking of my big fat Greek wedding.
Oh, what a throwback.
Right?
It's a great movie.
It is. God, I haven't seen it in years. I hope it's a good movie. That's how I remember.
Oh yeah, no, I don't know.
Right? I haven't seen it in like 15 years. So like now I don't know if it's a good movie or not. I think that part of it is probably traditions or customs that I have like tried. I just imagine this montage of me trying to work with this person on like the right way to drink tea, right? Like afternoon tea. So I think it's something that they can work on, but should I ask them to be working on it?
That's valid.
Probably a valid question.
Mm-hmm.
Good question.
All right.
Oof.
Our elders committed something unspeakable to keep us safe. Why do you defend them? I'm gonna X.
Okay.
I'm gonna X.
Cool. Yep. Great. And draw a new one.
Yep. What family mantra do you still believe? Oh, I like this. What family mantra do you still believe? Spirits are with us. I love the idea. Even when we can't see them, they're with us. They're here. Or rather, the spirits are here for us. No, don't like that. Not here for us. It's here for us in the sense of like, I'm here for you, not here for us.
Right.
I'm gonna go with
us.
I'm gonna go with like the spirits are with us. I like that variation of it better. It doesn't translate perfectly well, but right. It's essentially the spirits are with us, and because it both is like with us, but also like on our side.
Yeah.
It means both, and that's something I get a lot of peace and support from, that both when I'm away and when I'm back when in the homeland as well.
That.
Do you think that there is is there like a specific spirit or group of spirits that you have connected with, or that you like to believe is with you more than others, maybe?
It's a giant ghostly bone dragon.
Yes.
I, like, totally seriously, it's a giant ghostly bone dragon. I don't know why that one, but like we clicked. Like, from the time I was very young, the first time that I would say we saw each other. I don't know if it's the first time they saw me. First time I saw them, though, and I've seen them many times since then. One of the only ones I see when I'm not in the homeland.
This feels like Spirited Away, or yeah, it feels like Spirited Away. I love that answer, Jeremy.
Yeah.
I feel them with me when I heal too.
Oh God, I love Friendly Bone Dragon.
Yep.
All right. Where have you found belonging back home? As much as there's a lot of new magic and a lot of magical girl stuff, I feel like I don't know if any of y'all have seen like My Hero Academia, but like the support heroes, like I found like the people who aren't heroes but are like really good engineers and stuff. It's like finding, like, because we're never center stage, but at the same time, like, we have value, and I feel like I found a lot of belonging in those circles, like people willing to teach me, like mentor me, and then me be able to share that with other people. Even like, especially like heroes and magical girls. So I feel like the technical skills were something like I don't have to inherently have, and it's something that I can learn and then reproduce. So like I found it in that kind of circle.
Heck yeah. Support, like, honestly, the reason why things look effortless is because of good support. And that's probably why I'm the fuck up is basically one of your greatest like cheerleaders of like, no, you don't, just because you're not flashy or all of these things, and by the time I'm done you're wondering where the compliment is, and I'm just like, but because of that, because you're so good at all these other things, you make other people look good, and that is such an important thing.
Absolutely.
Okay, so this is a sweet one. What family tradition still brings you joy? And I think it is the tradition of always it's a very small one. It's whenever guests come over, or it's like sort of visiting hours of the family or whatever, there's always one chair or one place left empty so that it signals you're welcome. And then when it gets filled, we bring another chair or we bring another thing. And it's just sort of leaving space for not just family, friends, and corporeal people, but also the spirits. So the spirits feel welcome at our home, which I think is more of a homeland tradition than our birthplace tradition. But it's something that we like doing, and I've always liked that because it always leaves a space for someone to feel welcome rather than being awkward and kind of being like, okay, I'll grab my chair and insert myself in. It's like, no, we've made space for you. Join us.
I'm going to do that in real life. That's rad.
Right?
I actually learned it from a lot of cons of like whenever you're when lobby cons happen, which is essentially, you know, when people are just hanging around the lobby of, if you're at a table, if you want to signal to people that you are welcome to join, you just leave an extra chair so they can just plop in.
Oh, cons.
What are those?
How I long for thee.
Oh, so forever.
One day.
One day.
But yeah, I love that so much. I'm going to also do that in real life.
Also, I've been sitting on this one little kind of phrase where, especially after the bone dragon thing, that I need to share, which is basically when we say we have a bone to pick with you, it means you know, these spirits must have a talk with us. Specifically that one spirit.
Oh my
Yes.
gosh.
I love it.
It's so good, which could be a good thing too. Nobody knows.
Yeah.
No.
It's like, it's the equivalent of we need to talk.
Right? You don't know. Is it good? Is it bad? Ooh.
I'm proud of you for getting a good pun in here.
I know.
Mariam.
I wasn't. It's not that I doubted you, Mariam. I never doubted you. I just we're getting to the end. And I was like, I wonder if it's coming. One of our elders made you a promise. Why do they hide it from the other elders? I think that the cool elder, I like that that's their only name so far. I think that the cool elder, excuse me, is the one that made me a promise. And I think that they hide it from the other elders because it's something that they know wouldn't be approved. It's something that would cause, you know, there'd have to be discussions and family meetings, and there would be just drama and tension. And so I think that they hide it to kind of keep the peace and kind of in a what they don't know won't hurt them kind of way. And I think that they have kept it probably for a while, long enough for me to feel like, okay, they really are gonna hide this from the other elders. And I don't think I've said anything to any of you or anyone else, because I think that I was surprised by the fact that they actually kept it hidden. I thought for sure that they would share it, because from my paradigm, the elders share everything. They discuss everything and make every decision together as a unit. And so I wasn't expecting them to actually keep their promise, and they did. And so I also keep it to myself.
Love that.
Like, it really makes me think like, oh, our elders were once like, it reminds, like, kind of humanizes them. It's like, oh, they were once like us in our very same position, given like a wild choice to make, and the cool elder holding out.
Yes. That's a good point. I like that too. That they, at least one of them at one time was considered like the rebel, right? They were their own person. So.
Cool.
So my card is, when was the last time you felt truly loved by our elders? I think it was when we arrived to this.
Oh
Yeah. I don't know if that was the last time actually, but that's I guess that's the last time I felt it that strongly. I think just that greeting and the joy of us showing up, of when we got here, I felt I could see it. I could see the love and the joy and the I'm not necessarily excited about the judgment or the passing of the legacy. There are things I'm not excited about here, but it was that moment of like, I remember why I can keep coming back.
Beautiful. One follow-up question. How did they show it?
There's something about the way that you greet family here. There's a tradition about the way you greet your family that's different than the ways that you greet people who are outside your family. I'm not sure what that is, but I like, and it's something that I forgot. I had forgotten. Like, just it's something that I don't do in my daily life in our birthplace where we live now. I think it's something about the ways that they use magic here to greet us. It's not big and flashy. It's a little. It's not flashy in the ways that the magical girl magic is back home, new home. But it's something about the way they use magic to greet us is reserved for family and something you don't even show to people outside your family.
Have you shown it to anyone outside the family?
I haven't. I don't do it at all, even with family in the new world.
Ooh,
okay.
I'm not sure I could do it right. If I'm being honest, but
yeah, very cool.
All right, here we are. The Elders era has ended. Do you start anew? It's so interesting because at the beginning of the story, I was so hungry for approval and to fit in, and now learning like how valuable my skill set is as a support, and really finding like family back home. I think I do start anew. I think in this new beginning, I'm not a curse, or if I am a curse, I'm a curse to all the magical girls' enemies. Like it's like I get to reclaim that identity. So I think I take everything that I can and that I've learned, and I think like I'm very grateful for it. But I think I'm going to embrace the new and my new self.
I think do I start anew? I think it's sort of a yes-ish, because there's a lot of things I do like about our traditions from the homeland, and that is incorporated in my personal style of magic, but I don't have to faithfully recreate it. And as I guess at the very least a second gen person of our birthplace, we can make new traditions that don't have to be literally from scratch.
Do I start anew? I think in a similar fashion to Mariam's answer, it's yes, but I think that I continue to be the one that my found family relies on, but I can do it. I can provide that support because I feel equipped to do it. I feel good at it. I genuinely want to do it. And so the guilt and the proving something and the making up for something in the past is not there to make it feel like such a burden. So I've been able to do that. And so, yeah, I think I do end up starting anew.
Does your partner take a more prominent role?
Yeah, I think so. I think, right, that's part of starting anew is having a partner and probably bringing the partner. They can come out back and have the magic potion, the Tic Tacs with us.
I love how we're still secretive about it. Even though...
We don't have to be anymore.
Yeah, we definitely don't have to be. We're so sketch about it.
Well, because it's just weird we're so used to hiding it that how do you not?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now we're hiding it from the younger generation instead of the old.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
It's like how there's a risque television show that I would always watch when no one was around, even though because the values were very different. But here, now that streaming services and they're bringing old catalog stuff, I have no reason to hide. But it's like the minute my spouse steps in, I'm just like, oh God, why am I was not watching this show. This was just randomly.
Yeah.
The cat put that on.
Oh my gosh.
The Elders era has ended. You start anew. Yeah, I think it's interesting. I think there were points in this game when I found myself really frustrated. Obviously, I think they came out with our family's legacy, and what I've seen it be. But right, I'm a healer. I can heal things, and I think our family's legacy is included in that. Part of the legacy is the big, deep magic, as Mariam said, the big changing magic, and so. I don't know if it's starting anew, but I'm really invested in trying to continue, but I want to heal it as we do, because I think we can do it in ways maybe that hurt fewer of us.
The best answer to end on.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for this game.
Thank you. This is honestly, no matter how many times I play it, I'm just always taken aback and always get teary-eyed anytime hearing everyone's answers and their experiences. This has been beautiful. Thank you so much.
Well, to our audience, that was for our family, which will be kickstarting very soon for the updated version. Thank you so much, Anthony, for joining us tonight. If you'd like to play for our family, you can check out the link posted in the Twitch chat, or if you're listening to this afterwards or watching it afterwards, you can find info in our video description or our show notes for the podcast. Before we sign off, let's go around the table one last time, plug ourselves. Who are you and where can we find you? Let's start with our guest this time and then go backwards.
Thank you. I'm Anthony Nomo, and you can find me on Twitter at PnoyXP, PNOYXP, and you can find that itch page too. So this game in this version isn't out yet, but you can find the original For My Family still on my itch, and you can check that out. And once this game comes out, you'll actually get to compare the two. So if you want, I don't know. But yeah, you can find me on Twitter. I'm a big lurker there and on my itch.
Before I do my outro, Anthony, I'm going to put you on the spot for a second. Do you, in a good way,
Okay.
Do you have a Kickstarter date yet?
I am shooting for November 2nd, but we will see how long Kickstarter takes to approve me.
Yes. Yes.
But if you follow me on Twitter, I'll have my preview page at least linked up on there once I'm able to put it out, and then we'll go through it from there.
Awesome.
Soon.
Ooh, so be on the lookout, watchers and listeners. Hi, I'm Kristin Divine, she, her pronouns. You can find me on Twitter at Kristin is no Jedi. As I mentioned at the top of the show, I do game design, writing for tabletop role-playing games. I host an interview podcast called Tabletop Crowd that is on the Tabletop Babble podcast feed on the Geekspective Network, and it focuses on talking with folks who have gaming-related crowdfunding projects coming out soon in hopes of getting their projects to more listeners and hyping them because they're amazing. Anthony, we should talk. So please follow us at Tabletop Babble. And then I also am prepping for my Kickstarter, which is going to be coming out in January for Adorablins. You can follow us for more information at Dice Up Games. We're going to be co-publishing with Letterman Games. I'm very excited. That announcement is new. So you can follow them as well, or just follow me, and I will be retweeting everything. Mariam, how about you?
So as I said at the top of the show, that I am on Twitter at media_junkie. I lurk around on Utopia, and you can find me here on this show alternate Thursdays, as well as GMing Kahania, which is currently on hiatus between season 2 and season 3. Season 3 will probably come out early next year, and other than that, I published a game, Flats and Fangs, which is a Lasers and Feelings hack that is inspired greatly by what we do in the shadows. It was for BIMPoC Vamp Jam, which was for BIMPoC Vamp Day, and I have now got the game designer bug of wanting to publish my own itty-bitty games, so follow me to check out my other games that may or may not come out before this year. And with that, I'm going to pass it to our wonderful host for today, Jeremy.
Thank you. Again, thank you so much, Anthony. I love this game. So as I said earlier, I'm Jeremy. You can find me on Twitter at Harkmorper, HARKMORPER. Sounds kind of like the name of a Muppet, Harkmorper. You can find me on Twitter, usually hyping up either BIMPoC, other queer and trans designers, streamers, content creators. I love hyping other folks with marginalized identities in this community. Sometimes I talk about education. I'm also an educator. And then I design games, newer to it, but having a blast. You can find my games on Harkmorper, also on itch. And in particular, if you like For the Queen games and magical girls, I have a magical girl for the Queen game, a queer magical girl for the Queen game.
Which we may or may not be playing at some point.
It's true. Called False Protagonists. So you can, you do not play as magical girls, you play as the other queer young people in a city that is protected by queer magical girls.
So we're playing the cursed.
Yep.
I'm here for it.
Oh my god, that's so wild that you literally could follow this game up with that.
Yeah.
Yep. So check me out. And thank you again, everyone. That's our show for tonight. Join us next time as we play Women Are Wolves. I got the title right. I can't remember if it was Women Are Wolves or Women Are Werewolves. An amazing game exploring gender and non-binary gender identities and gender roles and werewolves. It's going to be so good. Bye, everyone.